Hey everybody, welcome to another interesting edition of Dan's Models. This is John sitting with Dan, and we are looking at a very dirty, weathered, decrepit looking boxcar. This is really seen some better days, Dan.
Yeah, this is Wairika Western, obviously. This is actually an old model die casting / Roundhouse boxcar that I've had for a really long time. It's one of those old ones that used to come in the cardboard box that had like 5 parts and you put it together.
Okay.
So it's got the cast on grab irons and things like that. But I did a lot of detailing to this car to try to improve it and make it look more at home with other more detailed cars that are newer. Yeah,
the cast on ladders on the side don't look too bad.
Yeah, on this car, they don't look too bad on this car, maybe because of the color and everything. Anyway, obviously I weathered it a lot.
You don't say.
Yeah, especially on the sides. I probably could maybe do a little more on the roof, but I also put some decals. I put the ACI labels and the wheel inspection dots and stuff like that from microscale decals on the car. And I also on the sides, I got rid of the original clunky stirrup steps and replaced them with, I think these are Detail Associates parts.
Yeah, they look like they've been replaced.
Yeah. So I did some work on the ends as well. The uncoupling levers, I believe, are from Plano. Has train line air hoses from Detail Associates and some photo etch crossover platforms, which I think are also Plano, but I'm not sure because it's been a while.
Yeah, I noticed those crossover platforms right away, and I kind of figured you were going to talk about that.
Yeah, little details like that really help. And of course, I added the KD scale couplers to the ends, and that helps the appearance.
Definitely.
Yeah, the rest of it is pretty stock. It still has the molded on ladders and all the other detail that was already there.
Yeah, and again, on the ends, the ladders look pretty decent.
Yeah. Oh, the other thing I did to the end was I replaced the original brake wheel, which looked really awful, with a KD modern brake wheel and painted it blue to match the car.
Right.
Which I thought was a big improvement.
Do they have a special blue for Wairika Western?
No. I think I used probably Santa Fe blue and might have lightened it just a little bit. They didn't know. I don't think there's anybody selling paint for Wairika Western. It's too small for railroad.
Yeah, they would, right?
Yeah.
Isn't the Wairika Western the one with the blue goose?
Yeah. It was owned by, originally, at least when the era for this paint scheme, it was part of Kyle.
Okay.
Which was a short line operator that had several short lines, including the Oregon Pacific and Eastern and a couple others. And they all had the same blue boxcars. So this car originally had plastic wheels. I got rid of those and substituted metal ones. I think it still has, it does. It still has the original Roundhouse trucks. And I added some rudimentary brake plumbing on the bottom. Not good enough to, really be accurate, but good enough to look fine when the car's rolling down the track.
Right, as per your usual.
Right, which is really all I cared about. Because you can... some of this piping here between things sticks out enough below the sill of the car that you can actually see it when it's rolling down the track.
You'd have to be looking for it, though, wouldn't you? I mean, honestly.
It's one of those little subtle things that just looks good if you see it,
Yeah.
Especially since it's weathered and it kind of is a little bit lighter because of the dusting that I gave it. It shows up a little more than if it was just black. So... Anyway, just one of those little subtle things you can do to improve the appearance of a car.
Overall, it's a cool model.
Well, thanks.
Yeah.
I used to have a lot of these older kind of shake the box kits, but I got rid of a lot of them. But I still have a couple, and this is one. I've largely kind of moved on to more detailed cars. I do have another Wairika Western boxcar that's a newer one.
Uh-huh.
So, that one's one of the newer Athearn ready-to-roll models. It's got like freestanding grabs and things like that. It actually, this one will hold its own detail-wise, especially if it's in a train.
Sure.
Just rolling by. So
Yeah, I think that the weathering job on it and just the familiarity, for me anyway, of the name would just make me go, oh, look, it's a White Rico Western. Huh?
Yeah.
And not pay attention. Like, oh, look at those molded on
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah. So this is kind of, an old school HO car that I've upgraded to, kind of look better
Yeah.
with all the modern stuff I have.
Yeah, it looks good. So cool. All right. Well, I guess that'll do it for this week. We'll be back again next week.
Yeah. See you later.